Hello everyone, now you will hear a brief recap of the movie What's Your Number? Enjoy watching. Ellie darling woke up earlier than her suitor, quickly tidied herself up, and returning to bed, pretended she had just opened her eyes. Why do you look so good in the morning? The man wonders. Rick was about to leave, but Ellie held back the vegetarian with some soy patties. The girl suggested they go together to her younger sister's wedding, and Rick decided he had enough of this relationship. Ellie rushed to work, where colleagues were discussing their boss, who liked to sniff his fingers. The boss called the blonde into his office and informed her that she was fired. On the metro ride home, Ellie read an article in a magazine and learned that, on average, a woman has 10.5 lovers in her lifetime. The girl is astonished. She thinks that's too few. She decided to count all her partners and write them down in a notebook. She couldn't remember everyone right away. Do you remember the name of that sinister puppeteer? Jerry Perry. Jerry Perry. Thank you. Do not wear bangs. For Daisy and Eddie. During the bachelorette party, Ellie met her former boss at the bar, and out of guilt, he offered to pay for her drinks. Ellie suggested her friends play a game, writing down on paper the number of guys they had slept with. One of the girls had 4, the bride Daisy had 8. The record holder was the girl with a questionable reputation. Sheila, she had as many as 13 lovers. Her friends shamed her. Seeing such a reaction, Ellie tore her paper and lied, saying she had been with 9 guys, but the torn one was immediately found. In the end, Ellie admitted that she had 19. And the article says that women who have had 20 or more lovers almost never get married. The friends took this information quite seriously, and Ellie declared that she would not sleep with anyone until she knew he was the one. However, that same night, Ellie slept with her former boss. Well, it seems he's her destined one. However, Roger rummaged in his pants and sniffed his fingers with great pleasure. Callie's neighbor Colin knocked. His door had closed and the keys were left inside. The guy realized that the neighbor wanted to get rid of this egg sniffer quickly and helped her with it. Colin himself was actually hiding here from the girl he slept with that night. He noticed the figures the neighbor molded from clay and praised her. But Ellie criticized Colin for bringing a new girl to his bed every night. Ellie is gorging on cake. No one is going to see her naked for the rest of her life anyway. Suddenly she noticed disgusting Donald, whom she used to date. On all their dates, all they did was eat, which is why Ellie gained weight back then. But now Donald isn't disgusting at all, so she might try with him again. However, the man is already taken. He came here with his fiancée. Ellie felt hurt because Donald used to be a total loser. And then an idea occurred to her. If she can't get new lovers, then she should reconnect with old ones. Ellie spent all night trying to find her exes using the internet, but she had no success. So she turned to Colin, who can find anyone. Daste, Sarouete, Duschi, though after all, he comes from a family of police officers. At first, the neighbor refused, considering the idea nonsense. However, Ellie barged into his apartment and put on an act that helped him get rid of his latest one-night stand. They will make a deal. From now on, Colin can hide from his girls in her apartment. Ellie made a list of exes in order of importance. First come the rich and politicians. Daisy condemns her sister for looking for exes just so she doesn't hit the age of 20. After all, things didn't work out with them, and they are not suitable for her. Colin first found the magician Dave Hansen. After starting to date him, Ellie turned into his female copy. True, while other lovers became more successful and wealthier, he remained a bartender. Ellie, you don't need such losers. Here, Colin learned that the neighbor is doing all this because she doesn't want to increase her number. Well, now it's clear why she still hasn't slept with him. Colin took Ellie to Stranet's. By evening, the neighbor had organized a cool detective board with photos and all the information. The neighbors spend all their free time together, having lunch and dinner together. Next on the list is the Englishman Simon, who is getting divorced and selling his house. The inattentive Ellie made a mistake with the address and stumbled upon the unpleasant Donald again. This is starting to look like stalking. Finally, Simon appeared. To impress him, the girl pretended to be English during their introduction, and now she is trying to fake an English accent. Colin is barely holding back laughter, looking at this liar. Simon had to be crossed off after all, because Ellie kept mixing up accents, which ruined the date. So, shall we skip another round? No. All the while thinking about other men, Ellie enjoys her time with her neighbor. The most desirable ex remains millionaire Jack Adams, but he's constantly traveling to different countries, making him hard to catch. The sisters informed their mom that their father will indeed come to the wedding. The woman got angry and declared that if that's the case, she won't attend the wedding. Next in line is gynecologist Barrett, who lives in Miami. Ellie traveled to another state for him and generously applied self-tenor to pass as a local. Barrett couldn't remember his ex until he looked between her legs. Ellie is feeling discouraged. She is out of work, but is spending her last money to find the jerks she already broke up with. But then Colin pleased her by finding Tom Piper, who had become a successful politician. Ellie will go to Washington to meet him instead of going to her scheduled interview. The neighbor found out that Tom Piper could be found in the Library of Congress. Ellie even bought a business suit for this meeting. She sat down at the next table. But since she wasn't visible, they had to ask the politicians to move the furniture to a more suitable place. Ellie dropped a lamp, but in doing so, she caught Tom's attention. He invited his ex on a date and didn't even try to take her to bed right away. But he settled her in an expensive hotel and gave her a dress. The couple had dinner with the congressman. It seems everything is going perfectly. Tom is ready to take Ellie to the altar at any moment. The only trouble is that the blonde has to act as a cover because Tom is gay. He plans to become president in the future. America is ready for a black president, but not a black gay president. I would never have realized I was gay if not for you. Ellie returned home upset. Colin lifted his friend's spirits by making an installation out of her figures, and the musician also sang an encouraging song for his neighbor. He is doing everything to support the girl, and even offered to go with her to her sister's wedding. The young man invited Ellie for a walk, or rather, to sneak into the arena and play strip basketball. When a guard approached, the intruders had to run away, but Ellie left him her dress as a gift. The walk ended with the neighbors jumping naked off the pier. At home, Colin declared that for Ellie, he is ready to change his life and be with only one woman. They jumped on each other, but then Ellie remembered the stupid article and asked to stop. In the morning, Ellie, as usual, was about to rush to the bathroom, but Colin already said that she was very beautiful. He would like to spend the whole day with her. But Ellie, it's time to run and help her sister get ready for the wedding. The girl boasted that she was going to the party with Colin and immediately heard reproaches directed at her. They said there's no point in dating such a womanizer and certainly not marrying one. Ellie backtracked and said that Colin is just a friend who is helping her right now. And in the evening, the girl found out that the neighbor hadn't told her about millionaire Jake, who returned to America. Ellie got angry at her friend and asked him to leave. She repeated the words of her friends that he's not the kind of guy you marry. Only with Colin is the girl genuine and not pretending. But Ellie hurt her friend. She thinks that as soon as they sleep together, the playboy will immediately forget about her. Ellie called Jake and in a phoning voice invited him on a date. She put on a dress and attached a fake ponytail to her hair. Jack Adams is like someone from a magazine cover, successful, wealthy, and influential. Ellie stared at him and caught a scent. It was her tail that caught fire. Despite his wealth, Adam turned out to be a modest and well-mannered young man. The sisters met their father and his lover, who could also be his daughter. They are planning to attend the wedding together. How to tell their mother about this? But the woman no longer cares about her ex-husband because she found out that Ellie is dating none other than Jake Adams and will go to the wedding with him. A millionaire seems like a successful and safe option, but Ellie has no feelings for him. On the roof, Colin is sadly alone. He no longer brings girls to his place. Šotipus Orasalus Saestat. In the morning, he put on a suit and got ready for some other wedding. Daisy was walked down the aisle by her mom. The groom promised her that he would never blow his nose in the shower and grow a mustache. The vows of the newlyweds touched Ellie, as they truly love each other. And during the slow dance, the musicians played the song that Colin sang for her back then. The girl admitted to Jake how many boyfriends she had. He decided it was just a joke. During the toast, Ellie thanked her sister. Through her example, Ellie finally understood that to love is to be oneself. After that, Ellie admitted to Jake that he is not the one she would like to spend her life with. The mother started to scold her scatterbrained daughter. Ellie doesn't want to be with Jake. She chooses someone who values her, just as she is. The girl ran up to the wedding organizer. He has a list of all the ceremonies taking place in the city today. Ellie intends to visit them all and find her Colin. She actually jumped into one couple's wedding photo, and the next victim was awful Donald. Damn, again? Blessed be this union and all the best to you. To get into the last party, Ellie stole a bike from a pizza delivery guy, but they wouldn't let her in. Colin is performing with his band right here, so the desperate girl climbed over the fence and got right on stage. She ruined someone else's celebration and took Colin aside. Ellie apologized and said that only with him she can be herself. Finally, the girl confessed her feelings. And it doesn't matter that he is her 21st. But she didn't want to know Colin's number. 300. Once, one of Ellie's exes called her and said that they did not sleep together. That night, the girl was drunk and passed out. So, it turns out Colin was indeed the 20th.